We're soft, we're spicy, we're emotional, we're fun, and you wouldn't regret spending a day with us.
He took my hand back and said, "Thank you for your sacrifice."
Such a turn on.
Toxic! Guys, toxic!
Anyone that says it's not that deep is a toxic person.
Welcome back, everybody, to episode 13. More importantly, welcome to the official premiere of season 2 of The Gap and the Grind.
Where the gap meets the grind and the grind meets the gap.
I know Precious and I have been MIA for a little, over a month, between fighting for, my life in midterms, organizing birthday parties.
Has that really been a big thing?
It was an excessive thing.
I realized we were away for Valentine's Day as well. So between the period of time, we had 2 events organized.
True.
It's like we've become event organizers, Denise. Event planners.
We've become a lot.
We could as well take on that role.
True. But I think the break was exactly what we needed.
Mm-hmm.
And we are now stepping into a completely new era.
Right.
Consider season 2 our official rebrand. We are going to level up with everything. The studio, topics. Jokes aside, we are officially expanding the cinematic universe this season. I'm just gonna drop a hint. Later this season, we are going to host our very first guest. Clock it. Oh, I gave myself the ick when I said that. But I'm not gonna say who and no when, but very soon. It's in the works and I think it's gonna be so good. Okay, before we bring anyone else into the studio, first we're going to first discuss the absolutely depressing state of the dating universe right now.
I'm sorry, what?
Yep, or more specifically, dating apps. Right now.
I'd love to hear it, Denise. Have you been on a dating app before?
I did it for research, actually, a couple just before we went into our break, because I was thinking very deeply about something like this, but then I realized we don't have anyone in our circle that I knew who's actually used it, or anyone who could give me the data that I needed and sort of be like, we are familiar. So I tried it for like maximum 2 weeks. It was, yeah. But then again, anyway, I went on a dinner date, and when the bill came, the guy pulled out the calculator up, not to figure out the tip, but to calculate how many mozzarella sticks we each ate from the appetizer. I had 3, he had 4. He made sure he only paid for 4.
It's very pity.
I think it's also very cheap. Very stingy, very such a miser. I don't know how many words I can use.
But if the roles were reversed, though, would you pay for what the other party has eaten?
I would. Well, here's the difference. This wasn't just someone saying, "Oh, you ordered, say, steak. I ordered a burger. Let me pay for my burger." It's almost like saying, "We ordered fries. There's fries. I eat 4 fries. You eat 3. I make you pay for that 3 fries you ate." I'm like, guys, that's crazy. Like, men, let's do better. Let's do better. Showed up to our coffee date, refused to tell the barista his name for the cup because he said it was giving the Matrix too much data, and then literally backed at a pigeon that got too close to a patio table to establish dominance.
That doesn't even make sense to me.
I think there are two are two, well, instances, but on the same date. The one, what caught my eye was more giving the Matrix too much data, and I'm like, but aren't we all already out there? I don't even fully know what to say at this point.
Aren't we all already out there?
I mean, some more than most, but had a first date with a guy. He held my hand while I was driving, and I said, I'm not really much of a hand holder, and put my hand back on the wheel. He took my hand back and said, thank you for your sacrifice.
The dominance is great. It's what some people look for in a man these days.
But isn't it also a bit creepy?
No, it's not.
Okay, no. Imagine we're driving. I'm your date. I'm a man. I hold your hand the first time. You take it back. You're like, well, I'm not much of a hand holder. Then I'm like, well, thank you for your sacrifice.
I feel like that's such a turn on.
Toxic. Guys, toxic. It's to me. I was like, it's pushing boundaries way more than I would want. And of course, I don't mind holding hands, but I'm just imagining if there was something I wasn't fully comfortable doing, and I told someone, they were like, well, thank you so much for your sacrifice. I'm like, no, you're not doing this. Let's take that a few steps back. But I guess to each their own, right?
Mm-hmm.
I asked if she wanted to hold hands. We had already kissed some days before the date, and she was really cute when messaging me, so I thought it would be okay. She dumped me on the next day, also known as 2 days ago.
Ooh.
Someone replied, this is the interesting part, sucks dude, but this is a lesson. Just go for it. Grab that hand, for real, you'll succeed.
That's true. Sometimes you just have to go for it. In spite of the fact that she has said no, in spite of the fact that she's broken up with you, just go for it. Eventually things will work out. Note, results may vary. But I've seen a case. I've heard of someone that told the boyfriend, "Hey, we're done," and the guy was like, "No, you're not going anywhere. We're staying in the relationship." And they've been together for about 3 years now.
I've heard of a similar thing, just someone refusing to break up with someone else. But I'm like, doesn't it? Once again, to me, this, yes, both of them, it relates so much back to the one before, the one about the hand holding, because they're just sort of, they read creepy to me, because I'm like, you're pushing boundaries though.
I guess sometimes you just need to be audacious.
But when someone tells you, well, no, you're like, no, we are going to work it out. Oh my God, precious. Toxic. I'm like, oh God. Anyway, agree to disagree on that. Well, interesting ones. I went on a date once with a guy who seemed lovely, funny, interesting, and charming. We had dinner and ordered a bottle of wine. About 45 minutes in, I went to pour my second small glass of the evening. He picked up my glass, downed it in one go, and said, "One glass is enough for a woman. I need you sober for what I'm going to do to you later."
Ew. That disturbs my brain.
Well, considering your responses for the last one, I thought you were gonna say hot. Or something like that.
It was just like the limit to everything, and I believe with that you would have exceeded the limit. You can't be controlling of what I take into my body.
I agree fully, but I think for that, I think actually I might not, it would not have rubbed me so much the wrong way. I mean, if I was in this situation, had he not added the, what's that, one glass is enough for a woman? Like the moment you bring sort of my gender into something like that, almost to patronize me in a way, I'm like, no. No, I think, yeah. I went to a chick's house a long time ago. The red flags were off the charts. I pull up and it's a trailer park. Okay, no problem. I get there and we start making out. She's trying to gag me with her tongue. I hate French kissing. I try to take her bra off and she doesn't want me to. Okay. Then she proceeds to tell me that she had recently broke up with her boyfriend and he might be driving around. Then she also tells me they had been doing meth. I can tell she's not into it and she tells me to leave. I ran the hell out of that. Then she has the nerve to text me as soon as I get back home. Come back. Mind you, it was 3:30 a.m.
No, I have nothing to say to that.
I think people encounter it much more than we expect. Just reading through all the stories I found, some people just complaining about you meet someone, they still have sort of relations with their exes, people coming around, or you are fully aware that okay, maybe it might not be that serious. We are adults doing whatever it is, but I think it's also, you know what, I was gonna say men hate being used as toys, but
Do they?
well, it can be that because it's mostly a thing of sometimes it is okay. So there's many situations where a girl is like so in love with a man and they keep giving and giving and giving, and they're sort of more like the man's kind of like the one who sort of doesn't want or whatever. But then when men are the ones being sort of used, it rubs something in them. But I mean, who am I to say anything? Well, on one first date I had, the dude told me he used to be in a gang and killed 6 people. Drove us into oncoming traffic, told me that there were 3 loaded guns in the car, and told me he was bipolar and not taking any medication for it.
God, Denise, the whole time we've been talking, I was imagining myself jumping out of that car.
That's what I was gonna say. Imagine what's your reaction being in the car? You're just sort of, imagine you're on a highway and someone's pouring all this data on you. Well, me and my gang.
Call 911.
In my life,
Call
I've killed
911.
6 people before.
Call 911.
I'm bipolar. I'm not taking medication.
Call 911. The fact that he's trusting you with all this information, he's probably planning on bumping into a car or falling off a cliff with you, because given his bipolar situation, he didn't want to die alone. He definitely wants to go with someone. He wants to end his life with someone. Like, he just can't do it on his own, by himself. Sorry.
Guys, let's keep safe, everyone. Dating scary out there. I once dated a guy who, when he let me stay at his house overnight and then left for work in the morning, locked me in the house and told me I wasn't allowed to leave the house without him there. Like, all the doors were key locked, front door, back door, side door. We had been dating for about a month, seemed perfectly normal until that point. Yes, I got out. No, we didn't continue to date.
It's a hot red flag.
Matched with a woman online who had a kid. This particular weekend, the kid was going to be with her dad. She asked me to come over, hang out. She mentioned she wanted to smoke, so I brought a J. Came over and her house was decent. She had a big sectional couch and she sat right next to me, fired up the J, pass it to her, and she hits it a few times and gives it back. I hit it as well and offer it to her, and she says no thanks. Okay, no biggie, I'll put it out. She gets up after a minute and goes into the other room. When she comes back, she's sitting on the other side of the couch and not talking at all. It was then that I noticed that she has something in her hand and she has a death grip on it. I'm talking white knuckles. I ask her if she's okay, and she says, "The voices in my head are telling me to stab you." And at this point, I noticed that she's holding a pencil. I made her some kind of awkward laugh, then asked her to use the bathroom, got up, saw the garage door and was open, didn't even hesitate, right out of there. The voices in my head are telling me to stab you.
Run for your life, brother. Run for your life, sister.
I think it just makes me wonder, how do we get ourselves into these situations?
That's a good question, Denise. Before you start to date someone, you never really know what's about them unless you have gone through courtship. Again, but then that's the point. I feel like dating is courtship. You're getting to know the person before marriage. Try and error. You try dating this person, try dating the other person. And so for you to actually find out that on your first date or earlier, in the early course of you guys meeting, then I think it's fair enough.
Still as myself. Like, some dating stories are a mess, and then just talking dating apps, like finding people on dating apps, because usually your first meeting, since it's not well organic or anything, it's sort of, usually you wanna meet after maybe talking for a while, connecting, then exchanging numbers or whatever, then you meet up and you sort of feel like maybe you have an understanding of who this person is. And then suddenly they're telling you, their voices in their head are telling them to stab you, guys. So,
Thank you for being the sacrifice.
you can't drink too much. You have to be sober for what I'm gonna do to you tonight. Okay, anyway, well, that's it for me, precious.
Hey, and culture check. We'll be continuing with culture check for our second season. Hotter than ever, better than before. Let's check the culture before it checks us. Happy new month to everyone. Happy March. I was hoping that we actually do season 2 before the month ends, because March is, I'd say, the best and most special month in the year. In case you're not aware.
I wonder why.
And if you're wondering why, it's because Denise and I have our birthdays in March. And so happy birth month to all March babies out there. And in case you're wondering what you should get Denise and I for our birthdays, because they're still going on, we're still celebrating till April, as we always do. Hit the like button, share with a friend of a friend, follow on our social medias, and just get us a few more subscribers and followers. Okay.
Preach, precious, preach.
Anyway, yeah, so speaking of birthdays, this whole birthday period, I feel like we started talking about our birthdays in
Feb, probably January.
Yeah, it was January. Yeah, because we were planning the whole dinner. Well, we had a whole lot of plans out there, and we just kept on changing because of different factors that we didn't consider. And so I'm like, in my head, it had me thinking, am I a planner? Am I the princess? Am I a ghost? Am I the emotional one? Like, there are people that have different personalities on their birthdays. And
I think you're the ghost. I don't even know which ones they are, but the minute you said it, I was like, you're the ghost.
Oh, why would you say that?
I don't know, it just seems to be you, but first go on.
On my birthday, Denise.
Well, things happen on birthdays. All right.
Well, I feel like on my birthday, I like to be the princess. I like to receive the care, the love, the attention, because out of 365, 366 days, that's probably the only day that I will deem my day. Because you look at all the other holidays, New Year's, everyone is celebrating that. But for your birthday, you are special on your birthday. And then I think I would say emotional as well, because like a month prior to my birthday, I start to think about what I have done in the past year, what I've achieved, because to me, it's more like this is my New Year's, right? It's more of self evaluation. Yeah. Denise, what would you say? Who are you? What's your character?
Oh, what are the categories again? I think when you mentioned them, I thought they were categories. They are princesses, ghosts.
Right. Okay.
all the
Well, yeah.
others.
They basically are princess, ghost, planner, emotional one, the self evaluator, if that's a word. I think
Who's the ghost again?
think-
What's
think-
the ghost?
the people that like to disappear on their birthdays.
Ah.
You don't want to hear from anyone. You just want to be by yourself.
I think I'm actually a ghost and a planner, and yeah, I don't think I'm much of a self-evaluator or anything like that. I try not to, but I think ghost would be if I really was just the age we are in right now, youth and everything, connections and whatever. It just seems almost paramount to meet people, and then you also have friends wanting to sort of celebrate your special day with you. So ghost isn't very applicable
Oh yeah.
in the situations we are in. But I feel like if I had a choice, I would be like, I I say go big or go home.
Yeah.
Sort of that extreme of I would either stay in my bed, cry myself watching my shows, or it's gonna be a big whole party thing.
There's no in between.
Yeah, and then the planner is just I think planner, organizer take on those roles as well. Like I want everything to go exactly as planned.
Yeah.
I don't want any sort of deviation. It gets to my nerves.
Speaking of deviation, how was your previous birthday celebration?
It was fun, chaotic. It was so great.
Denise, you look like a sucker for chaos, huh?
I love it because, especially when I'm not involved. Let's got that. I love watching other people's chaos, and of course, as I said, the age that we are at right now, there's just so much that happens in your 20s.
I know. Your 20s are chaotic.
I'm so glad to be saying that.
Were you throwing that at me? You're throwing that at me like there is so much that happens in your 20s.
Yeah, because you told me that one time.
Yeah.
In one of our episodes, you're
Yeah.
like, the whole 20s thing, and
Your 20s are chaotic.
exactly that.
And I'll
now
keep
I'm
on
like-
saying that. Your
No,
20s
like,
are very
I'm also part of
chaotic.
our
20s.
20s. Your 20s are
Whoa.
chaotic. I could already see the chaos the minute I turned 20 years. Like, here's the chaos.
I feel
Being
like your
20.
chaos hit you like a month prior to.
I know, it was
your
like
20s.
everything leading up to was just chaos. So
And now once again, I will say your 20s are chaotic. Prove me wrong.
I will.
Yeah, my birthday was amazing. Honestly, I did have a little self audit a month prior to it. Did celebrate. I celebrated in different ways, I can say. Yeah, for this big age of mine that I was turning. The celebration as well was, I guess it was fun. It was one to remember. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to all our friends that showed up. This is a special thank you to all our friends that showed up for our birthdays, and I hope you're watching this. I know you are.
Yeah. And if you're not subscribed, guys,
If you're not, if
come
you
on.
subscribe,
Okay.
let's hit that 100 mark.
Yes. So for the next few months, that's gonna be our goal.
Yeah, in 1 month.
Okay.
What's your? I feel like I already know your answer to this, but I just want to get more of a detailed explanation. What's your ideal birthday text? Is it just a happy birthday, Denise, or a paragraph? And what does it make you feel like when people send you paragraphs? And also, if a friend of yours, a close friend of yours didn't wish you a happy birthday, how would you take that?
I think by now, maybe from past episodes, we should all know I'm very, very very PDA in any formal way. I'm very keep things relaxed, chill. Let's not overdo it. So when it comes to birthday texts and everything, the shortest happy birthday Denise goes a long way for me than a whole paragraph where I put like, you are amazing. I'm like, oh God, I can't. So the thing is, I can't really explain how I feel, but it just makes me go, no, can't read it. So I almost like skipped through the words, trying to get to the point where they're not going through all the mushy stuff. It's not for me. Whether it's a birthday, whether it's anything, those texts, or even if someone was telling me on the phone, I'd be like, no. I would stop them and I'm like, no, let's wrap this up. It's just known for me. It's a bit too much. Yeah, it makes me feel so. A very short one goes a long way. And then regarding the someone known wishing you, I honestly don't take it too personally. I move on. You can't ask someone to sort of be considerate of you if they never. I feel like if someone, things sort of define what you mean to someone.
Yeah.
So if someone doesn't say it, I'm not gonna be angry or even be offended. We are still gonna be cool regardless. But it does set that tone of, yeah, we are friends or we are acquaintances, we are whatever, but yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Can't even say I feel any. I'm just like, yeah, it's not that deep. Maybe I'm not your closest friend.
It's not that deep. Toxic.
Oh yeah, someone say that's a toxic
Yeah.
statement.
Someone mentioned anyone that says it's not that deep is a toxic person.
Yeah, but people usually say it something like, say I express my concerns for something and you're like, Denise, it's not that deep. But for me, I'm just saying it in a way of what you've done to me is now not that deep. What about you?
Personally, I do get quite a number of paragraphs on my birthday. Quite a number. It's like all my friends just decide to pour out their hearts. And I think my birthday happens to be one of the most emotional days of my life. Like this past one, I remember I woke up at 7, I opened my phone and I already had tears rolling down my eyes because everyone was saying all these things and I had to go to work where it was like, oh precious, this, that, I wouldn't want to lose you and all that. I just get so emotional, and now I think I'm very accustomed to the paragraphs. I'm like, well, I'll take them only if you actually mean it. But otherwise, a happy birthday, precious, is okay. Just happy birthday. And how would I take it if a friend of mine didn't wish me a happy birthday? So many times, and to my friends, I'm very sorry. I forget. Lately, I usually forget people's birthdays. But nonetheless, if a week has passed by and I do remember that, hey, it was someone's birthday, I will either call them or send them a text and be like, hey, I'm so sorry, I forgot, it slipped my mind, or I remembered on that day and I just got a bit caught up. So I'll just be like, belated happy birthday to you. Other than that, people are getting so caught up with things, and birthdays are not exactly a priority for some people, but for me, I will always remember your birthdays. Yeah, and for our viewers as well. Other than that, we are winter babies with spring energy, and that's why we are unpredictable. We're soft, we're spicy, we're emotional, we're fun, and you wouldn't regret spending a day with us. And that is why we celebrate like the whole month belongs to us.
Yeah. I've not done the outro in so long. I almost forgot how it goes. But if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, or anywhere, don't forget to once again like, comment, share, give us 5 stars. And since we are going to start hosting guests, I think if you guys have anyone in mind,
If you have anyone that you'd like to see us host, please let us know.
If you have any other topics you want us to specifically
talk about, let us know as well.
Yes, no. Yeah, we are going to spice it up this season. Right.
Denise is 20.
Precious is 24.
Denise, please, I'm not 24.
You know, women lie about their ages all the time.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I'll see you when we see you.
See you when we see you.